Guys,
welcome, Team Orange-Glad, to the 4th elimination. My first question goes to you, Alex, and the question is, do you normally have trouble following instructions?
Not really.
Where was your apple yesterday then, huh?
Okay, see, when I saw that, I thought it was like a riddle, like a clue riddle. And then you were like, "Where's your apple?" And everyone pulled up their apple. I just happen to have apples, luckily. But I was definitely thrown for a loop when you said grab your apple.
That's what I was like, wow, you're lucky that you had an apple handy, you know? Good for you. Well, you know, so Alex, you're a third-year actor. I'm going to bring in Colin. You are also a third-year actor. Do you feel like being part of a group that has an already established relationship, do you feel like that might put a target on your back in this game?
Yes, I do, because I think that people have been aware. I think that's what got Brian, honestly. I think that that's what got Brian, because they didn't want us to have as many numbers going into the merge whenever that was going to happen. But at the same time, I'm with a lot of people that I can trust, you know, that I can like trust, who I think I know, you know, but like the truth is like, I mean, you know my name, not my story. So, you know, that leaves me vulnerable. And to be quite honest, I mean, that leaves all the BFA 3 actors vulnerable to something to happen. So, to answer in short, yes and no.
Like, yeah, like, you know, we all, you know, trust each other, you know, to a certain degree. But I think in the end, there's still only one winner, Antonio. So, like, you know, where does that trust falter sometimes?
It's a good point. It's a good point. If you've ever watched the show, you've seen some of the strongest alliances crumble there towards the end. Sam, I'm coming to you next.
Go for it.
I just got a straightforward question, which is, who do you view as the leader of your team?
Who do I view as the leader of my team? Interesting question, Antonio. Fiona.
Fiona, interesting. Can you explain why you feel that way?
She's just got that energy about her. She knows what she's doing. She was here last year. She's a vet. She's been around these circumstances before, and she won fan favorite last year, so she's got credentials too.
Got it. Fiona, I have a question for you. Fiona, would you claim a leadership role on your own?
No.
Why is that?
I think that we have a lot of really strong-minded, impressive players on this team. I don't think you could claim one leader. This whole third-year actor alliance talk is so interesting because I don't really see a third-year alliance. In fact, I see much more interesting alliances.
Personally, I see a lot of beef between the third years.
Yeah, in fact, I would have to agree with that, Sam. In fact, if I were to choose a leader, I'd probably say Sam because he's so darn charming.
Thanks, Fiona.
Interesting. Okay, so I don't know. We have some folks who think that being a third-year actor might put a target on their backs, and others that think that that alliance maybe isn't as strong as people think. Interesting response, Fiona, to the question about whether or not you would claim leadership. I do have another question for you, though. Well, actually, this is for everyone in the room. Raise your hand if you would agree that you think Fiona is the leader. And actually, you're all frozen for me. So I truly can't wait. Hold on.
Nobody moved.
So nobody moved. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So there you go. But Fiona, I have a more specific question for you, which is I want you to talk to me about how it was to be left in the final two of your team up against Trey.
I'm so glad you brought it up, Antonio. I'm so glad you brought it up. Being in a final two with someone who's betrayed me, who's hurt me before.
This again.
Yeah, this again. And you brought my looks into it last time. Let's not forget.
Well, so then I wanna hop over to you, Trey. So
Antonio.
My question for you is, do you think your team wanted you to win?
Look, at the end of the day, Antonio, what is a team but a group of people who want to win a game? You know, I don't think anybody wanted anyone to win except for themselves. But when it came down to me versus Fiona, I think there's a clear divide. And I'm a listener. I like to listen to people. I like to feel other people's emotion. I like to think of myself as empathetic. And I felt nothing but revulsion from the rest of the team towards Fiona. And I really felt bad about that for her.
And speaking of divisions, I'm going to come over to you, Chava. And, you and Colin are the only vulnerable members tonight from the old Purple Rain. So I'm curious how you're feeling about that going into the vote tonight.
I was able to talk to and meet some new people on the team, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm happy to be an Orangey Glad now. The Purple Rain is in the past, so I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so we have some new Orangey Glad loyalty from Chava. Well, then a similar question for you, Gina. Tonight, heading into the vote, what's your strategy? How are you deciding who you're going to vote for tonight?
That is a great question. Honestly, I'm a little torn. I've talked to a lot of people and I know what I'm going to do, and I don't think it'd be right for me to reveal.
All right, everyone, it looks as if I am at the end of my questions. Oh, Alex, I see you had your hand raised.
Oh man, just with how I'm picking tonight, it's just what comes around goes around. That's sort of how I feel. If you're gonna try and double cross someone,
what comes around goes around.
Oh, interesting. Some foreboding words heading into the vote. I guess we'll soon see what that means.
Antonio,
all right, everyone. Oh yes, please, Fiona, hop in.
I just want to second that and say, if someone brings you into an alliance and then you try to double cross that alliance, I don't think that's good gameplay.
Absolutely not.
It's not classy. Not classy.
Whew. All right. I have no idea what anyone is talking about, but I'm dying to find out, and I think maybe the vote will give us a little information. All right. In a moment, you will all be determining who is going to be set adrift from your team. Before we get to the vote, Trey, as you won individual immunity tonight, I want to check in with you and ask if you would like to keep the immunity for yourself or pass it off to one of your teammates.
I would like to keep the immunity for myself. It's shiny and it's warm.
All right. That means that Trey is immune tonight, so any votes cast against Trey will not count. In a moment, I will be asking each of you to private message me the name of the contestant that you feel deserves to be eliminated from Team Orangey Glad tonight. First up, Sam. Next up, we have Chava, Colin, Gina, Trey, Fiona, and Alex. All right, the votes are in. As we do have some active immunity items in the game, I'm going to ask if anyone has an immunity item that they would like to play. Please unmute yourself, show the item, and tell me who you would like to save with it. All right. That brings us to the votes. To determine who leaves us tonight on week 4 from Team Orangey Glad, these are your votes. Our first vote is for Gina. Second vote is for Gina. We have a vote for Chava. We have a third vote for Gina. And we have a fourth vote for Gina. The fifth and sixth votes were also for Gina, but we do know that with 4 votes, unfortunately, Gina, that means that you have been eliminated from Season 2 of Survivor TTS. I have really enjoyed you being here on the show. I know we put you through a lot of hoops these past few weeks, and I would just like to know if you have anything that you would like to share with your teammates or with the audience before you leave.
Yes. Oh my God, I was just removed from the Slack. Sorry, that's sad. I voted for myself. I was a little bit of a snake in the chat, and I apologize. You all are wonderful, and I enjoyed playing with you guys.
Gina, no!
Thanks, Gina.
Oh, Gina. Well, thank you for shedding some light on what was happening behind the scenes. You were a welcome addition. And also, welcome to the theater school. Happy first year. All right, Gina, you are free to leave the Zoom.
Bye, Gina.
Bye, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
I missed her already.
What just happened?
Well, as you are all very well aware, things happen on Survivor. Twists come at you.
Survivor.
And you got to roll with the punches. And you guys rolled with the punches tonight. I know that was difficult. Said goodbye to a tough player. And with that, that brings us to the end. Well, that brings us to intermission of the 4th elimination on Season 2 of Survivor TTS. Welcome, Team Purple Rain, to the 4th elimination. Let's get down to business. Meg, I'm coming to you first.
Cool.
And my question for you, actually, wait, hold the phone. Hold, Meg. I've got your question, but I actually want to ask a question to the group first. And the question I have is, last week, that elimination was one of the most divided eliminations I have seen in the 2 seasons of Survivor. So you were divided last week. There is no doubt about that. So my question for the team is, have you been able to come together this week?
Oh, I think that we've been able to come together this week because as far as I've seen, everyone seems to be on board with who they're eliminating, and good for us.
I think that, I really tried hard last week to let people know that the enemy here is the 3rd-year actors. And I know that's crazy for me to be saying. I'm an actor myself. But I think that when you've got a group of people that they outnumber everybody else, there's just, how can there not be alliances happening? And so that's what
Well,
I just
but Georgia, so that's interesting though, because I totally understand that and I hear you, but you're not at the merge yet. So you do have to act as a team, and there are possibilities that more votes will happen. So I'm interested in the fact that Emily seems to think that it's a unified vote tonight. So who's getting voted out tonight?
Oh, I know who's getting out tonight. I know who's getting booted out, but I don't think I'm at liberty to say.
Okay, interesting. Emily came close to revealing, but did not.
Yes, we're not at the merge yet, and that is actually a gift. We have time to get our shit together because we're about to go to the merge. And so that's what this vote is. Okay? It's an attempt, but I'm terrified. I'm always terrified. Everyone's always terrified during a vote because if you think you're safe in a vote, you're probably going home.
Yeah, the moment you get comfortable is the moment that it's your ass on the line. And that's just the truth.
Yes, true. I would encourage you all to listen to Jordan. Jordan knows very painfully the truth behind that statement. Well, so Jordan, then I'm going to stick with you. So then talk to me more about what the effect that the team swap has had on alliances. Do you think that the old alliances that you had before, do you think that's going to factor into the game post-merge, or do you think that all bets are off?
It's really difficult because that switch came at a perfect time for TV drama. So good on you, producers. Like, that was a great choice. For players, it was awful because it was like you were able to make a connection enough, right? You had gone through the trauma of one elimination together, but then all of a sudden you're ripped from it. So my answer to that is the possibility is still there, and that is enough in this game for me to say yes.
You know, I want to play devil's advocate and say that it was actually probably the perfect time for that to happen, because if we had waited any longer, I mean, there would have been absolutely no trusting the new people that had come into our team. I mean, like, yeah, we came in pretty divided at first, but I feel like if we had stayed in our original teams for any longer, there wouldn't have been like any hope to integrate into like solid cohesive teams.
So Meg, I'm curious, have you let your guard down to your teammates yet?
I think some more than others. But I think you have to be, honest sometimes in this game if you want to get honesty from other people.
Also, Emily, I can't help but notice the facial expression in response to what Meg said a moment ago. Are you finding what she's saying hard to believe? Tell me about what's going on there.
See, I don't know if I'm at liberty to say again, since it's really none of my business. But I guess since I'm going to be the one going home tonight, I might as well, spit it out. Meg, thank you for being one of the first people to reach out to me in this crazy ass season of Survivor. But I remember you telling me distinctly that you did not trust all these new people when you came here. So what's the deal now? Are we saving face for camera?
Emily also reached out to you. Sorry, I just have to put that out there.
Yeah, so Emily,
no, but Meg was like the first.
But Emily, I'm just thinking a lot about last week. I'm thinking a lot about last week, and I'm thinking about the people that I thought I could trust because we were on the same team, and then I'm thinking about all the things that we had to do in order to keep surviving, and I'm not feeling like you made it much easier for us to survive last week. And I feel like I really, I had no reason, to be honest, to like trust that. And I put it all out on the table last week, like specifically to you, Emily, and to Nora, being like, don't trust Brian because Brian is pulling you into a trap. And I said that information, even though I had a strong hunch that you had flipped, Emily. And Nora, you were from another team. So it just takes me back to what Meg said about how, you have to be honest and put yourself on the line in order for people to be honest back. And so I felt like I bared my soul to everybody last week. And I can only hope that will mean that someone will return the favor. But I mean, all I can do is hope.
How can you flip when they're on the same team?
Because we had people from Orange come to a team from Purple.
But are they purple nonetheless, even though they were orange before?
Well, we know now. We absolutely know now.
Nora, I'm gonna hop over to you. Nora, so you won individual immunity this week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So do you think that how important was it for you to win immunity this week? And do you think that that had something to do with your drive heading into that challenge?
Oh, definitely. I felt like because I was kind of listening to Brian in the last elimination, that there was a target on my back. And I mean, I'll throw all the cards out on the table. I know that the majority of this team thinks I'm a threat. I don't know what I've done to do that. I mean, granted, I've just played the game. But like, honestly, you shouldn't trust anybody. So, I mean, because you can't trust anybody in this game, even if you think that you can. So, I mean, in good conscience, like, they don't trust me, but like, I definitely feel like there's a target on my back. But also, I grew up as a competitive cheerleader, so standing on one leg was not difficult for me.
Oh, so we've learned your secret. Competitive cheerleading. Well played, Nora.
Yeah.
So then I have a follow-up question. So is there anyone on this team that you trust?
I don't know if I know anyone well enough to say, but because they're open ears right now. I don't know if I want to give anything away.
Carlie, I'm gonna come over to you. You have actually you've been kind of quiet tonight. And so I'm wondering, as the only original Orange Glad member without immunity tonight on the team, do you think that makes you vulnerable going into the vote tonight?
Oh, hell yeah. No, I told a bunch of people here that I was convinced I was going to be voted out this week, and I'm not unconvinced at all. But I think that being vulnerable and just kind of laying all my cards on the table when talking to my teammates, because they are my teammates now, is just like the best way to go about it, because this is a game, this is a competition. You have to be honest at least sometimes, and I think that honesty versus like lying and deception is going to get you farther than anything else.
This is a game famous for liars winning. So that is an interesting tactic that you have, Carlie. Emily, so I'm going to come over to you. We've heard a bit from you tonight, but based on what you've said, you asserted earlier that you believe that you are going home tonight. So talk to me about that. How, is there anyone on the team that you feel comfortable with that you feel maybe might not vote for you tonight?
See, the thing is, after last week's rapid, Slack fest or whatever, you learn pretty quick that once you're in the spot for elimination, your Slack notifications go ping, 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 ping. So it's really suspicious when you've had nothing but radio silence for 2 days.
As we have learned, the amount of messages on Slack can sometimes reveal something about your position in the game. Emily, I guess we will soon find out. So we've reached the point where we are going to be voting. Nora, as the winner of this week's immunity on your team, you do have the ability to transfer your immunity to one of your teammates if you would like to. Are you going to keep the immunity for yourself tonight, or would you like to transfer it to one of your teammates?
I'm going to keep it for myself.
All right. So Nora has spoken. Nora will be keeping the immunity that she won this week for herself, which means any votes cast for Nora will not count. All right. It is time to set another contestant adrift. In a moment, I will ask each of you to private message me in the Zoom chat the name of the contestant that you feel deserves to be eliminated tonight. From Team Purple Rain. To start off the vote, we have Meg, Carlie, Georgia, Nora, Jordan, and Emily. The votes are in. Before I read the votes, I would like to ask if anyone has an immunity item that they would like to play either on themselves or a teammate, to please unmute yourself, show the item, and tell us who you would like to save. All right. Let's get down to it. Here are the votes. First vote is for Meg. Second vote is for Emily. We have a second vote for Emily. We have a third vote for Emily. And we indeed have a fourth and a fifth vote for Emily. Emily, I'm sorry to tell you what you already know, which is that this means, unfortunately, you have been eliminated from Team Purple Rain on Season 2 of Survivor TTS. For my own part, I will say, when you came in with that cowboy hat, I think it was the first week, and your enthusiasm, it was infectious, and I'm really happy that you joined us on this season. Before you head out, is there anything else that you would, anything that you would like to say to your teammates, to your fellow competitors, and to our audience?
In all seriousness, this was really fun. I'm really glad I got to meet and talk to some of you. It's been really fun, and I'm not usually petty and vindictive, but it has been fun being petty and vindictive once in a while. It really unlocked a truly thing inside me that I didn't know existed. And a tip for you all next time, if you're gonna vote someone out, just like keep them in the loop, or at least try to make it look like you're not voting them out. Because like at some point Tuesday, I realized like radio silence, Slack, that's not typical. Anyway, I hope to see you all in Chicago soon, and if any of you are in DC, stop by. I'm stuck here. But yeah, thanks so much.
Bye, Emily.
Bye,
Emily.
Bye, Emily.
All right, Emily, you are free to leave the Zoom. Ooh. That was a tough one. But what the vote tonight showed was that Team Purple Rain came into elimination united tonight, and that is definitely the energy that you're going to need to move forward in the competition.
We're back, baby. Do it!
All right, well, that brings us to the end of the 4th elimination on Season 2 of Survivor TTS. Until next time. Because as of tonight, both teams are merged.
The freshmen are definitely outnumbered at this point.
That was the most stressful adjudicating I've had to do